Yes, very good evening to all of you. So it is my very first talk show under my banner that Empowering Souls. So under this banner, I would like to discuss different aspects of entrepreneurial aspects, which I was bothering for a little longer time. So I was hoping that our country has seen so many industrial entrepreneurial people from last century. Some people like Dhirubhai Ambani, Tata, Birla, and some Tamil Nadu people also, G.T. Naidu and T.V.S. Iyengar and all those people, very few in numbers compared to other developed countries, in very single digit numbers. And right now it is increasing in numbers all over Bookmyso and Zomato. So many, it is keep increasing, escalating in numbers nowadays. The self-made entrepreneurial journey is increasing in numbers in our country also. But still, comparing to the vast population and the youngsters, 1 minute. Yes, so compared to the vast increasing population of our country, more than 200 millions in our country, and then the increasing youngsters population, more than and also the unemployment rate, which is increasing in our country. It is now 8% compared to 4% in USA and all. So considering those conditions, so why should not our entrepreneurial numbers could increase to two digits or even 3 digits and all. So towards that, I would like to bring into focus of the successful people in making the personality development and the life skill development aspects for youngsters, so that how the parents could play an important role in increasing the entrepreneurial amongst entrepreneurial journey of youngsters. So today I would like to introduce Aniruddha Pathak sir, who is well-known career coach and life skill and life skill and soft skill trainer, well-known soft skill trainer and parental coach. And he has been training in so many corporations, well-known corporates, and he has with him some more than 16 years of corporate experience. And he has been working with Vodafone, all the corporate giants, Reliance and Jet Airways. Recently, he has been awarded for his parental coaching and career coaching also by ABCD International and NIST India in 2021. And he has a mission of impacting 10 million people, 10 million parents, especially of toddlers, to be consciously more effective with the help of parenting blueprint. And he has published an ebook on adding extra to ordinary, which is available in Amazon, and also one Marathi poem book. So I hope he is very suitable person to start with on how impacting parental aspects on empowering youngsters. Yes, sir. I am very happy you have accepted to come on this show, especially the very first show, and your encouragement, it will take us to a great success, I hope. Yes, sir. I would like you to introduce yourself about your journey from corporate to this different parental coaching and life skill and career coaching for youngsters. So your learnings and.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much, Sundarban, for giving me the opportunity to be on your platform, and hearty congratulations for your first show. And I'm really very obliged, and I'm really feeling blessed to be on this platform. And this is your first live and first talk show that you're doing, and I'm your first guest. So I'm really feeling I'm having that very happy feeling. So I'm on all the aspects, I'm really very happy. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. That's the first thing which I wanted to say. And coming to the journey, or coming to give a small brief introduction about myself, is as you have already, shared my name, so I won't, get on to sharing my name. But yes, as far as the education goes, I have done my graduation in arts, my post-graduation in communication and journalism. I did my additional graduation in psychology. I did my postgraduate, diploma in HR management also. And apart from that, various kind of certifications and all, career guidance and all that, I have done that as well. And when it comes to working with the corporates and all, you've already shared the experience. But yes, at the age of 22, I started working with corporates, right? So that is how my corporate journey started. And I worked with corporates for almost 10 years. And now it's been close to 8 years now, right? So I'm on my own. I'm working as a freelance trainer, and I'm working on different aspects that I'm taking care of. So that is something which I'm doing currently. And in my tenure that I've spent with corporates for almost 10 years, I realized that the industry has some expectations from the youngsters, and the youngsters has some expectations from the industry. And their industry's expectation and the youngsters' expectation doesn't match to each other. And there it creates a gap, because industry is expecting something else and the kids are expecting something else from the industry. Right? So there is a huge gap between the expectations, and that is where I felt that somebody should start working onto this, and the gap should be filled. So that was something which was bothering me a lot. And at the age of 28, I realized that training is something which I realized and I enjoy a lot. And it gives you a kind of a kick that, generally people look out for something that gives them the kick. So training is something which gives me the kick. So that is the reason I decided that, okay, I want to start with this journey. And at the age of 32, I decided that I want to move on and wanted to start on my own. So that's how my corporate
natural mentorship, it seems. The flavor for them.
I hope so. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that I keep on doing that as well. But that is how I started working on, and I moved out of the corporate at the age of 32, and I started working on my own. I started initially by training students. Rather, I started my journey by giving training sessions to the corporates only, right? But at that, again, it was not giving me the kind of connect that I was looking out for, right? So that is how I felt that, okay, I need to again, drill down. I need to understand that what exactly is connecting more with me and with my audience as well. So that is how I realized that students are something which I connect well with. And that is the reason I started training engineering students, management students on various aspects of employability, developing their soft skills, life skills, I don't know, but anything that comes under the umbrella of personality development, I started doing that. And I was not sure that how it is to be done. I was not sure that where, what should be done so that the, every piece of the puzzle falls into place and it gets solved. So I was not aware of that, right? So I was struggling a lot with that as well. So multiple experiments were done, multiple, things I did. And that's how, with lots of trials and errors, I realized that I'm enjoying this and I want to do this. So I got good positive feedbacks also from the training sessions that I've conducted for corporates as well as for the educational institutions as well. So that is how it all worked. And since 8 years now, close to 8 years now, I am into this training industry and I'm enjoying this journey right now as well.
Yes, sir. You have mentioned you have found a large gap between the students and the corporates. They were looking for job. It is well known in our country that the students who are coming out from even the BTech students, engineering as well as the arts, whoever they are, they don't have the employable skills. So it is very much talked of in our country especially. So you also found that gap. Can you explain a bit more on that, sir? How
what happens is, yeah. So when I was in the industry, when I was working with corporates, so I got an opportunity to interview many youngsters because my profile was like that. So I had an opportunity to interact and interview youngsters. So the expectation of the youngsters were like, if they are passed out from the engineering institution, they are like, okay, I should get X number of package and X amount of responsibilities, and I should be holding a responsible position directly, right? And industry is expecting somebody that, me being from the industry, I was expecting, yeah, this is something which is not going to work. We need to have somebody who can work at the grassroots level. So that was our expectation as an industry, and students were expecting something different, right? So even the management student who were passing out from the educational institutions, they were having an expectation that once I am an MBA, I should be given a responsible position. then I should, directly termed as a boss or something, and I should have a team to report to, right? So those who will be reporting into me, and that is something which was creating a kind of a gap, right? Because that is something which industry was not expecting. Industry was expecting somebody who can learn from the grassroots level, and then eventually they climb up the ladder of their career growth and all that stuff. So that was my experience, right? I am not saying that today if students are coming out of the education institutions won't get leadership roles. No, that is not the case. They can definitely get the leadership roles as well. But on a larger scale, if you look at, right, so the larger scale, the thing is like people should rather, I personally feel that even the corporate also considers that people should start at a particular level, and eventually they should grow onto the career level. So that is how the growth was expected. It was not matching somewhere, and that created the gap, and that was the gap which was bothering me a lot, right? Because I was feeling, yeah, this is something not what the corporate is expecting, because I was the part of corporate then, and the students I was interviewing were having a different kind of an expectation, right? So I realized that, okay, somebody needs to step into this particular situation and start working on this. So I was literally frustrated. So one day I came back home. There is a small story to it, so I'll just share that story as well, right? So one day I came back home. I was literally very frustrated, and I was sitting, and my father was there. So he said, what happened? You look very frustrated. So I shared that, this is something which is happening, and industry is expecting something else. And the kids who are coming into the industry, they are having a different expectation. Somebody should do something. Somebody should do something. That's what we always hear from, we always keep on saying that somebody should take some actions and things should change. So my father was, he's a very, learned individual. So he's very smart. He said that, why you are expecting somebody else to do? Why you can't do it on your own? Why you can't take the responsibility? And that, kept me thinking for 6 months that, okay, if I have to take the responsibility, then why I can't do it? I should do that, right? So that is where I started thinking about taking the responsibility on my shoulders, taking the onus, and started working on it. So that's how it all happened. And I took the responsibility. I said, okay, fine. No more waiting for somebody else, and I'll take the responsibility and I'll start changing. So that's what I did.
Yes, sir. So you have done both sides. Nowadays, you are doing for colleges students also. You are giving the life skills, the required life skills for students in colleges also. And you have earlier trained the corporate freshers also. Yes.
Correct.
So on both sides you have worked, and you can easily pinpoint where our youngsters are lacking interpersonal skills, or team working, or personality skills. So which kind of skills, some few of the skills where they are lacking behind.
Okay. So there are a couple of things, right? So it has multiple angles attached to it. So I would not say that students are not technically smart. They are very, very smart when it comes to technical knowledge or technical understanding of the things. Yes, they are very smart. But the only thing, unfortunately, what has happened nowadays is we have, created a generation which is built on a thought process that everything is ready-made and everything is served on a platter to them. Unfortunately, right? They are resourceful. They know how to, find the answers. But we have, always thought that, okay, this is something which is, we need to give it to them, right? So we need to provide it to them. Right. So unfortunately, So unfortunately, because of our fears, right? I am not blaming the kids for this mistake that we have created for ourselves. So we have clipped their wings, unfortunately, and we are not allowing them to fly high, right? So unfortunately, what has happened is everything is served on a platter to them. So they're normal basic soft skills, which we generally call as, right, basic life skills that we generally call as. Observation is not really very good. They are not really good with team coping and all. Internal discussions or interpersonal skills are not really very good with them. So these are all basic skills which should develop at the very early age of their life, right? It should not happen that, okay, once they are into the corporate, then they'll start learning interpersonal skills. This is not the way the life works, right? I believe your childhood or my childhood, we learned how to deal with issues with our own self. Now today, what I can see, when I'm taking my kid to a garden or a park play area, so there I see that if the kids are fighting over something, right, kids are left out and parents are fighting over the issues. right? So kids are not getting an opportunity to solve the differences also, right? And these kids are going to be tomorrow's leaders some way, right? So if the leaders are not getting the opportunity today to build onto their foundation, right? And if we are not allowing that foundation to work today, we are creating probably the weakest generation overall. And fortunately, we are the youngest nation of the world today, right? So we have huge potential. We just need to give them that platform, right? So basic soft skills is missing, unfortunately. People don't know how to interact. People don't know how to solve the differences. People don't know how to collaborate. People don't know how to cooperate as well, right? So these are the youngsters who are good with their skills. The only thing is they just need the platform to launch. We just have to provide the platform. If we can do that, kids can do wonders.
Yes, I have read in one of the books, I am not remembering what book it is. One of the book, it was mentioned that nowadays we are restricting our kids to study individually. We don't ask our youngsters to collaborate and study. If you don't know something, learn from your friends, learn from others. That we don't encourage at all. We are always asking them, you study separately, you study individually, you concentrate on your own understanding, you learn through Googling. So something individualistic learning only we are concentrating on our children, I think. It was mentioned by one of the author in one of the book. I am rightly not coming out. And also our children, as you mentioned, our youngsters are more resourceful only, but they are having everything, knowledge, resourceful. They could able to learn from Google, everything. They are having information is just poured on them. They have everything available, all information and how to learn. Everything is available, but they are not using their resourceful or the knowledge, sir, I feel now. So because they are more cushioned by the parents for more comforts and comfortable zone, they are not coming out of their comfort zones. So may I ask you how parents could aid our youngsters to come out of their comfort zone and to make their risk takers, to become the risk takers? Now, parents are more inhibiting that, or how parents could play more on that?
To answer this question, I would definitely say that it is not something which is not possible, right? So the thing is to make our kids more responsible. The first thing, and risk takers also, the first thing that parents need to do is they need to be risk takers as well, right? Unfortunately, what is happening today is we want all the good things for our kids in their comfort zone. We are not allowing them to take the risk, right? On an average, right, the students that I am catering to are from the B cities and the C cities, right? So not the A cities to be, on a larger scale. Yes, to the A cities as well, but the number is very limited, right? So for the B cities or for the C cities, the major factor works is get into a job, don't experiment with your life and don't experiment with your career, right? But what we should ideally do is we should let them experiment with their life, because life is the only thing which is going, rather their age is on their side, to be honest, right? If they are at the age of say 17, 18, 19, 20, that's the age when they should experiment more, learn more, interact more. But we are not allowing them to do that, unfortunately, right? If they want to pursue some different career, which is out of the league, right? What happens is, it's not that parents are not interested into it. It's that the fear doesn't allow them to do that.
Yeah, failure of
right? And the fear is not only about the failure. Fear is also about, the societal pressure that they have, the peer pressure that they have, right? Your kid is doing something different in a very regular format, right? Somebody else's kids is doing in a very conventional way. They have chosen a very, safe and secured path of success. That is, get into engineering, get into MBA, probably get into medical, probably get into CA, something which is, not a path which is traveled millions of times. So any kid who wants to do something different in their life, the first thing that comes to their parents' mind is not that, oh, my kid is doing something different. This is not the expression that they have. The expression, oh, my kid is doing something different. That's the expression that they have, right? And that is where their fear kicks in. They feel like, oh, what if he fails? What if he doesn't earn good money out of it? And this is we always question, unfortunately, we always question, right, when any new thing is happening, right? But we never question the conventional path which is followed by the kid. What if, for an example, I'm just giving it as an example, right? For an example, if the kid who has chosen a conventional path and still fails, right, because he is not interested into it, he is not willing to get into it, he is not putting his efforts into it because he is not willing, right? His heart is not into it, and he fails into the conventional way. So who are you going to blame them, right? So this system is going to be blamed, or the kids are going to be blamed, or you yourself are going to take the responsibility and the blame on yourself.
Yeah, one example I would like to, sir, today tell that. So when I was working in that engineering students, when I was teaching for engineering students, so one of my students in mechatronics, it is a difficult subject. So those who are very interested on the topic only, they could able to concentrate on the subject. Others, it will be certainly boring only, difficult to concentrate. So one of the kid, he wanted to study hotel management, it seems. But he is only one child, so his parents certainly not allowed him to do hotel management and put him in BTech mechatronics for their wish, and he could not able to concentrate in any other subjects also. We were dealing with only first years for fundamental science subjects only. So he already got fed up with the heavy engineering topic. So his mind is not opening up. So I have seen so many papers not even scripted with single page also. They even given without writing anything. Some one or two people they were doing like that. So how much fed up they were. They have studied very many years, very much understanding. So many projects they have done in school days, very actively involved. But if they were doing like that, how much they have frustrated and how they have closed their mind. So how will they? As you have mentioned. So how they will take up further? Certainly they will be closing themselves for further taking risks also.
See, that is also one thing, if you are not allowing your kid to take any responsibility, right? And if you are not trusting them for the decisions of their life, right? It's fine. Their decisions may go wrong, but that is how life happens. Yes. That is how life happened to you also, to me also, and to everybody in the world.
Yes, sir.
Right? Everybody took some risk. Everybody took some decisions. Decisions might go wrong. Decisions might fail. But that's not the point. The point is, once you take the responsibility of your decisions, the life starts changing, right? The moment you allow your kids to take the responsibility, and the moment you say that, okay, you take the decision, we are there with you, right? Fine. It's absolutely okay if it doesn't work. Let's see how we can make it work. That is how the growth happens. But unfortunately, we don't take responsibility of the decisions of our kids. What happens is, just as you have just shared an example that the kid wanted to get into hotel management and the parents were not ready, right? So if the parents might have trusted him and told him that, okay, if you want to pursue your hotel management, go ahead, we are there with you. The kid might have jumped and done much better than he could have ever done in engineering.
Yes.
Because he was trusted, because he was given the responsibility of his decisions, because he was given the chance to explore his potential and his possibilities as well. Right? But just because he was pulled back, he was feeling frustrated that I wanted to do something, I am not allowed to. Now I'll not take responsibility of anything. If I am failure, it is because of my parents. If I am not generating any results out of it, it's not because of me, it's because of my parents only. So he's putting the blame on somebody else. So what are we generating out of it?
Just by not only one time, repeated.
Rest of the life. Rest of the life.
While taking the 11th standard, while taking the subjects itself, and then college coming, then taking the specialization also. So every time repeatedly they have been not allowed to take decision is hindering. It will make them self-doubt or.
That is how the problem which happens is when there now we have so many options to identify what career suits the kid, or what personality is that kid have, which will go with which kind of a career, right? So we have career testing tools nowadays, right? That's how career counselors play a very huge role. But unfortunately, because of the fear of, probably the parents have the thought that, okay, what if the career counselor tells something which is I am not ready to accept? And that fear doesn't allow them to go to a career counselor also.
Yes,
And I have faced this. I had one of the clients who came to me one day and he told me that, okay, this is your fees, whatever my charges are. He gave me the charges in cash. He kept in front of me. He said, this is the cash. This is what, this is my kid. You have to do the test and tell him that he has to go for the engineering. I said, but we haven't performed the test as of yet. He said, whatever the test is, whatever the result is going to be, I don't care. You tell him that he is going to go into engineering. Yes. I said, boss, come on. This is not how it works, right? I have to go to understand how they know how the personality of the kid is. We'll go through the test, we'll study the result and the report. And what the report says, I'll tell you that only. I'll not manipulate the report. He said, no, it doesn't matter. I have already paid you the fees. So you have to tell him what I am telling you. I said, keep your fees. I am not going to do that. Right? I literally asked him to leave because I was not willing to do something which was not good morally and ethically as well. Right? So that was something which was heartbreaking. I could see that the kid was not happy with the decision of engineering, but unfortunately, I couldn't do anything as well at that time. I tried to convince his father, but he was not ready. Right? So that is, these are also cases we have. Right?
Yes, sir. It shows that a big part we need to play on the empowering of parents, on the nurturing of parents rather than youngsters. So we need to bring in awareness more and more awareness and more courage to parents rather than the youngsters to bring up their kids in a better way. Yes, I would, and also I have seen that parents will be used to tell to their children that whenever some problem comes, they won't like, they also will not, the parents, they themselves also will not take any decisions. They will not allow their children also to take decisions. They may be applying to some few colleges, 1, 2 different streams, engineering, law, and even medicine are so different streams they may be applying, and one result has come and they may be expecting for other results also. They also will not take the decisions which one they have to join. They will not allow the children also to take the decision which one they want to join. They'll be simply saying that let us see. So which all comes, how it goes. Wait and see how it goes. Let us wait and see how it goes. So that aspect I am seeing in so many different aspects of life. So they are not taking choices themselves. They don't take the fact by themselves, and they are allowing it to live the default life or simply that is also linked to their risk taking. Or so would you like to, have you come across people like that?
Yeah, I have seen multiple people like this, who are they have multiple options ready with them, right? Even if at all they are coming to me as a career counselor or career coach, they come to me with multiple options, right? So this is something which I have thought for my kid. A, if it doesn't work, then B. If it doesn't work, then C, right? So which one I should go for, right? So the answer is asked to me. So if I tell them that, okay, after, the career testing and all, if this comes like, this is the better option for him, we can definitely go for it. But it should, I never say that this is a thumb rule that, okay, if this comes, then he has to do it. And this is the only thing which should be done. I never say that. I said that this is what the suggestion is. It's up to you whether you want to do it or not, right? So I had one of the client whose kid was very good into his overall performance, and the test results were also suggesting that he would be good if he pursues CA. It's one of the options. So I suggested that no, CA is something which he can pursue, and it's not a thumb rule, but it's up to you. If he and if you want to pursue, you can definitely go for it as well, right? So that's a suggestion. So what the problem was is the whole family was of doctors, right? And they were looking out for the answer that whether he'll be good into medicine or not. So I said that the result is not showing anywhere the options of medicine, because the overall personality was not like that, right? So I said that the result or the report doesn't say so, right? And even the kid is not interested to get into medicine. And if she is interested, the kid was interested more into getting into CA only, right? So if the kid is also interested to get into CA, the report is also asking to get into CA, then why, as a parent, we should force her to get into medicine? They were like, no, if tell us if medicine doesn't work, then what would work better? So I tell them, okay, if that is something which you are looking out for, we have multiple options, right? Any of the career tests that which are done in today's time, it doesn't show you that only one career option. It gives you choices of options, right? So there are multiple things that are being suggested based on the test which has been done, right? So there are multiple tests also. It's not only about the IQ test which has been done. It is the overall personality test which is also done, right? So based on the overall personality of the kid, the test itself suggests multiple options to it, right? So I gave them multiple options, but medicine was not a part of it, right? So they were like, okay, if it doesn't work, then which one? If it doesn't work, then which one? Right? So when you keep multiple options, now this is for parents and for the kids also. When you have multiple options which are absolutely not interlinked or interconnected with yourself, you yourself can't focus where you want to put your energy into, right? If I am putting my energy into something which I am not interested into, or probably which doesn't give me the kind of satisfaction of the work that I'm probably trying to do, right? It is not generating the results. It is never going to generate the results, right? So what I generally tell the parents is, don't have multiple options, like, and absolutely east and west options of them, right? So something which they have is, for an example, they'll try something in engineering and then suddenly they'll try something in medical also. So these are two different poles all apart, right? So medical has a different requirement. Engineering has a different requirement as a personality from a kid, right? So if that is the case, kids are going to be absolutely confused. The parents are confused, and unfortunately, they are confusing the kids also. That is where the role of a career coach comes in. But unfortunately, that also doesn't work sometimes.
It is still to be grown, established in our country better.
Absolutely.
And also this career counseling or this personality tests and all, what age it is more proper, sir? When they are completing the 10th standard or completing the 12th standard?
Ideally, I would say that 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th, any time is a good time, right? Because that is when you are actually, multiple things are happening. It's not only about the career, you're physically also multiple changes happen in this particular age. Personality changes, approach changes, thought process changes, right? So 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th, it's a good time to go for your career testing. Ideally, I suggest to do it in the age of 9th and 10th. But if they want to repeat it just to be on the safer side, they can repeat it in 11th and 12th as well. So nothing wrong. See, it's, what I generally suggest to parents is, it's better to have an informed career decision rather than taking a career decision at the roll of a dice, right? Career is something which is, what confuses people more is people think course is a career, right? So engineering is a course. Yes. Medicine is a course. It's not a career. I have seen engineers who have done career absolutely in a different field. Today we have so many actors. Today we have so many bankers who are, by course they are engineers, yes, but by career they are bankers. Yeah. By career they are actors, right? So career is different and course is different. So when I say I am a career coach, I don't define them based on the course that they are choosing. I tell them what career you want to choose. What happens is, today's kids or the parents, what they are looking out for, okay, this is the 4 years investment, right? 4-year course that they are going to do. Career should be based on those 4 years. It doesn't happen that way, right? If that was the case, then probably I would have landed somewhere, probably not even known to me ever, right? Because I am an arts graduate by choice, right? Arts graduate generally doesn't get any kind of a value ever anywhere, right? So that's what that was the time. That was the time when I chose to get into arts, right? So it was absolutely least traced or least respected field, right? So that was the field I chose. I wanted to get into arts by choice, right? So I just gave my example to make it very clear that you have to choose what career you want to get into. Courses can be anything, right? Courses are just there to give you a kind of a stepping stone. It works as a stepping stone for everybody, right? But courses, I'm not saying that it cannot be your career also. It can be your career, but these are two different things. So people generally confuse it, and that's why the confusion boils down to the kids as well.
So many times have you felt that the children are complaining to you, their parents were the hurdles for their growth like that? Anyone have? So mostly you have already discussed so many examples you have already told. So when you were counseling, when you were doing with youngsters, college students also, have they complained if their parent have allowed them to for something other than this course, they could have performed well? Have they opened up many times?
Yeah, they do. They do open up. They do come. They do share. When the kids are having that kind of a confidence while interacting with me, they do share their personal stories also. So some kids have a good, supportive parents, wherein the parents have given them the choice that okay, fine, for the course sake, get into engineering, get the degree done. Rest of the life, whatever you want to do, you can do. So I have seen these kind of parents also. I have seen these kind of parents also wherein they have literally, forced the kids to get into engineering just because they are feeling secure that, okay, once you're an engineer, you will absolutely do good in your career or in your life. So these are generally, I would treat them as myths, right? It's not mandatory that there is no foolproof course, right? There is absolutely no foolproof course unless and until you are sure what you want to do in your life. You can choose any career, right? You can choose any course. If your heart is not into it, you will not be successful into it, right? If your heart is into it, then whatever it is, you will definitely give your 100% and you will succeed into it. That's what I personally feel.
Nowadays, slightly it is picking up, and still parents have to streamline the children in a proper, yes, they have to give way to their children's wishes and their decision making. Yes, one last question I would like to ask is, we are always restricting our children mostly that you should not tell the truth to your friend, you should not teach your friend, you should not educate or help them in coming up. So something restricting as if by helping explaining the subjects to their friends, they'll be losing their knowledge, something like that. So by helping others, they become low level like that. It is in our culture, it is very much inculcated like that. So is it so? But we are learning that all successful people, they were always trying to help others only. So would you like to tell something on this, sir?
To begin the answer, and as you said that it's the last question, so I'll just take 1 more minute of that right as well. Anything that you say in this world, anything, right, in the universe also, anything except humans, anything that you see is always giving whatever they have to others. Trees have their fruits, but not for themselves, they give it to somebody, right? Trees have leaves, they have shades. Their shade is not for themselves, it is for somebody else. Rains falls onto the ground, but it is not for the rains itself, it is for somebody else, right? So anything in the universe is not for them, they are always givers. And when you become a giver, right, any successful, as you said that, in the world, if you see in the universe, if you see anything which is there who is believing into the concept of giving, they have always got multiple, multifold returns into it, right? So you give one, if you are giving one consistently, you will never know when you will get 100. At times you will receive 1,000 also, right? So any successful person, as you rightly said, that any successful person in this world, right, not only in terms of monetary benefits, I'm saying successful in terms of everything, right? We all respect our former president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, right? He was a giver. To the core, to the soul, he was a giver, right? He always believed in giving something. He never kept anything to himself. Now, if you, as you said that, if you share something, your knowledge will be, will get shorter. It never happens. If you give, if you share, it will always grow. Why? Because you know something which I don't know. I know something probably which you don't know. So if I am sharing an idea, it's a very beautiful concept which generally, which is shared, that I have an idea, you have an idea. If we share these ideas, we both have 2 ideas, right? Right, and that is how it works. So if you keep on giving, if you keep on doing good, yeah. So it is very unfortunate if the parents are holding their kids that, okay, you should not share it with anyone. Of course, you have to be very careful that, right? Just on a lighter note, in the examination, you're not supposed to share it.
Yes,
right? But otherwise in life, yes, you should share. You should share all the good things that you have, and the good things are going to be great things someday, because you believe in the thought of giving. The moment you start giving, you feel good inside. okay, no, I am sitting in front of you right now for doing this live. I am giving it to you because I felt good about this feeling that, okay, I am getting an opportunity to reach out to people. I am giving, right? If I have thought, no, I'll not go on to Sundar Ma'am's platform, I'll definitely not go because I don't know what idea will click to somebody and somebody may steal out my idea also, right? But that doesn't work that way, right? Even if at all somebody steals the idea, how to implement the idea is in here, right?
Yes.
Right? Idea can be shared. The concept of how to implement the idea is with me, right? And that is not going to go anywhere, right? And I believe in myself, you believe in yourself, and that is why we have created this platform of giving only. Right? So the more you give, the more you will get back. The more you deliver, the more it is going to come back to you. If you are giving 10, you will get 10,000 someday. But that is going to happen. And for that, we need to have patience. Right? So just by understanding the concept of giving, we are teaching so many things to our kids. Number one, we are teaching them patience. Because giving somebody something, it doesn't happen overnight. You have to spend some time with that individual. So automatically you are learning patience, automatically you are learning compassion, you are learning empathy, you are also learning sharing attitude, you are also learning the concept, you are also learning the concept of giving, you are also learning the concept of feeling satisfied when you start giving something. You are also learning that when you are sharing something, you are also getting something in return. Right? So you are learning so many things which are very high on values. When you give values to somebody, when you build those kind of values, I am 100% sure the society is in good hands. But if you are not giving and sharing these values, we are creating a problem for our own self and coming generations as well.
Yes, sir. Then only the youngsters are becoming problem solvers. So when they are helping others, only they become the problem solvers. They become more resourceful. They develop themselves for different situations. And their interpersonal skills are also increasing through.
Correct.
They are networking more and more. So yes, it is giving rise to so many, and all the business mantra and all the business people are telling giving is the way to grow. Yes, you have nicely told that even the plants are giving in different ways, and only the human being is the only living thing, only consuming and not trying to give. Yes. Yes, you have brought in so many nice concepts. Yes, with very lively examples. This very thankful to you, sir, for enriching this session with all your experiences and different examples. So many points, relative points for youngsters. So very good.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to coming onto your platform, interacting with the audience. And I would definitely like to appeal, anybody who is listening to this live, anybody who is listening to the recorded version as well, right? Chandravatanam ma'am is doing a wonderful work, right? She needs and I need your support. So please support us for any good thing that we are doing. If you think that you have received any kind of value, you can share it to anybody as much as you can, right? So thank you so much, ma'am. And I'm really, very glad and very happy to be your first guest on your first talk show. So thank you so much. It's a really, very memorable moment for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Bye to you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Yes, I will close. Thank you very much, sir. Really,
thank you so much,
and
the recording is on. You want to stop the recording as well?